This is weird. This is Oregon Bigfoot. This is Crater Lake National Park. And this goes to show you, if you look at this still and the previous still, you see the trapezius more in this, the triangle shape shoulder area.
Are you saying they're larger here? So
no, I'm
not
saying
as squared off shoulders.
Yeah. There's like something in the foreground blocking the shoulders, made them look squarish, like
He's hiding.
And it just goes to show you, when you're zoomed in on something like this,
Every photo's different. That's all.
Well, because you have stuff in the foreground, and sometimes the pixels look, kind of funny or whatever. But this looks like the classical Bigfoot that shows in the previous photo. And we'll be able to tell us
classical or not. This is Bigfoot.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a classic Bigfoot. It's just a Bigfoot.
Yeah, we'll see you can see when we see the video that it looks like this in all the shots. It's just maybe some of them there's something.
Stand by to be shocked.
There's something blocking in the foreground. Now, there's something we were talking about before in a previous episode about finding Bigfoot. And
$10 million bounty?
And $10 million bounty, yeah. And
which the season 1 is over, a $10 million bounty, right?
Which brings us to finding Bigfoot. They're renewing, I believe, another season. Now, which show of that, you've seen enough of each show to determine which do you like better? Which do you find more interesting or just like better in general?
Well, they're doing more. There's teams of people on $10 million. That's the difference. And finding Bigfoot, they're going out and interviewing people that have had Bigfoot sightings. They tell stories, but you have the same team.
Okay, here's my take on it. There's no conflict in finding Bigfoot. You have the different teams in $1 Million Bigfoot Bounty, and they hate each other. And any person
But the interesting part of finding Bigfoot is you're going into different parts of the country and you're listening to the stories of people that have come across Bigfoot or had Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah, but there's nothing more compelling than conflict and argument, and they don't have that. And
well, how many seasons has Finding Bigfoot had on TV?
I don't know, at least 2 or 3.
And $10 million Bigfoot's had 1.
So what? What's your point?
So, there's obviously people that are entertained by Finding Bigfoot.
Yeah, I know, but if there might be an episode, there might be a show that was on 3 years, and then Seinfeld was only on at one point, one episode. What does that have to do with
what
anything?
Does that have to do with anything? What are you bringing that up?
Well, I know, but you're saying what?
Well, you're saying that
it's been
the
out
conflict
longer.
is more entertaining.
Well, the show hasn't been out long.
It's had 1 season. It may never come back.
We don't know, but I'm just saying. But what does that have to do with your opinion on which do you think was more compelling?
I'm just saying they're different.
Well, of course they're different, but which do you like better? I'm not saying I weigh this. You don't know anyone in the show. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. Which show do you like better?
Look, it's just a carbon copy of any of the other reality shows that are out there.
Okay, so
$10 million Bigfoot, it's the same thing.
But do you like that better than Finding Bigfoot?
No, Finding Bigfoot I like better because of the stories you get to hear.
Okay, that's fair enough. You have an opinion on that.
And what's your opinion?
I like $10 million Bigfoot
because
Bounty.
People are fighting. You like conflict.
It's more compelling. Any screenwriter will tell you, any story writer will tell you that the basis of
even
storytelling...
if you have more people that are interested in Finding Bigfoot, you're going to tell me the other one's more compelling, even if it doesn't have the same audience.
Well, I don't think there's stories on Finding... You say there's stories. Somebody says, I was walking out in the park.
Yeah, I was walking down the road. I saw Bigfoot.
And on the hill, I couldn't tell what it was, and I just saw something on the hill.
That's interesting.
No, it's not. It's not compelling
to you,
at all.
It might not be.
And, they might have a little squabbles here and there, and it's just, I don't know.
That's right, you don't know.
And plus, there's different networks. I don't know if Spike has the same audience.
It doesn't have the same audience.
Well, I don't know if Spike has built themselves up with advertising dollars. I think it's part of MTV. I think it was a channel that MTV
Spin-off?
developed. I don't know if it's a spin-off or not, but I think it's owned by MTV.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who comes back.
Well, Finding Bigfoot is coming back. We know that.
Oh, they've been signed for another
From what I
season.
understand, yeah, it's been
But $10 million Bigfoot, we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't. Well, but they just finished one episode. And that depends on what their viewership was. That's the sole criteria. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that's the criteria of whether a show has more merit or not. There's movies that bombed at the box office that are considered classics now. So you can't say that. Oh, this makes more money. This is getting renewed. It's better.
It'll just be interesting to see if they do come back. That's all.
Yeah, honestly, there was a lot of Bigfoot buzz about Finding Bigfoot when it first came out because it was something different and new. There's no show completely dedicated to Bigfoot, and by the same token, there's a lot of even now that precedent has already been set, there's a lot of interest in $1 million Bigfoot bounty. So I don't know. I mean, I guess this boils down to opinion. But if you have an opinion, you have to back it up with why you believe it to be so.